All right, let's head into something else now. Sports betting is a global phenomenon which illustrates a perfect example of passion turned into business.
The global sports betting market size is expected to grow by $125.18 billion between 2019 and 2030.
Nigeria rakes in big from this industry, generating over 730 billion naira annually.
Now, business correspondent David Alabi throws more light on this cash cow with a focus on football enthusiasts.
For Bayern against Klopp's Dortmund.
Placing bets on sports games is a huge global industry worth billions of dollars. For football, it remains an unrivaled territory in Nigeria. The growth of the internet, mobile devices and satellite TV channels to watch live matches has no doubt increased accessibility. It's all a game of odds.
The betting company has done the summary for you. They will show you the club that is playing at home and the club playing away.
With Nigeria's unemployment rate at 23.1% and projected to reach 33.5% by 2020, many sports enthusiasts resort to online-offline bets to get a quick, easy cash.
With 100 naira betting, if you are favored enough, can we like 200,000 naira. Weekends like this, I probably sit down on my computer for like 4 hours, analyze it and play mainly to make money.
I don't think we have any categories of people that bet. I think it's everybody. It's everybody, because even those people you see in their offices, they use their mobile phone to bet online.
Well, now statistics show that there are over 14 million bet stakes and payments made over the internet every single day in Nigeria. And quite interestingly, now it is important to know that this does not necessarily affect the rate of teaming punters who come out here to the offline physical stores. Withdrawals are easy, just with a click of a button.
You enter their website, log in with my ID and my password. I just click withdraw. A page will pop out where you will input your bank account number, your name, the name of the bank, and you click.
Betting companies make money from the higher probabilities of losses from punters. However, poor internet connectivity and power outage hold far more devastating financial losses. Analysts predict sports betting advertisement will contribute 4% to search engine giant Google and 7% to social media platform Facebook. Beyond all these figures, punters are always driven by the highs of winning steadily. David Alabi, TVC News, Lagos.
Joining me now is a social entrepreneur and founder, Scatter. Abayomi Ashiwaju. It's nice to have you join more right now.
Thank you for having me.
Right. Now, the idea of betting, some people say is just a euphemism or garnishing gambling, as the case may be. Some people see gambling as in a negative perspective. But in betting, it's seen as a great business. What are the differences if we change the name, if we tilt it this way or tilt it the other way?
I think it's because some people in authority endorsed it, and that's why people now see it as not gambling, but as betting, and then they see it from the positive angle. And it's because of that endorsement that led to, setting up of a lottery board that now oversees, sport betting and other activities in the land. So, but for some of us, yes, it's adding value, economically to the country. At the same time, it has psychological effect. It has a mental effect, side effect on,
or even emotional
effect on the players, of this sport betting, as the case may be.
Now, let's narrow it down to the individual who plays, who there's a match coming up and all. Take us through how this works.
Okay, now, of course, if a match is going to take place now, there are different angles to it. Somebody will say, okay, I want to predict, okay, I'm predicting that a particular club is going to win a particular club, or there's going to be a draw, there's going to be different predictions, and then at the end of the day, you stake your odds on it, you drop your money.
So for each of whatever happens, if this wins, there is a stake for it.
Yeah, exactly.
If it loses, there is a stake for it.
Of course.
If they draw, there is a stake for
Exactly.
it. Okay.
So at the end of the day, if you're some people, yes, there is a slip they call ticket anyway, and when you check through your ticket, probably you have about 4 or 5 games that you predicted, and all the games are of course on point. Then
so is it a combination of games or just one?
It could be a combination, it could be one, depending on what you intend to play out. So at the end of the day, if everything comes out fine, you get your cash. Some people can just take about 100 naira and get as much as 100,000 naira. But that is one-off, for it's not always as easy as
when more than one person predicts and wins. For instance, if about 200 people predict a certain match and they win, do they all get the money?
Of course, they get paid, because there are times that over 1 million would play the same game, invest the same money. Let me use the word investment now, and they won't get anything out of it. So, of course, they balance. Yes, the money from that, the excess from that will now be used to pay those who actually win and which may not.
And the monies that are staked are non-refundable.
Of course, of course.
Wow. Okay. Now, the point there is, talk to us about the issue of addiction. You were talking about the psychological, emotional, and all of that. Talk to us about that impact. What have you seen so far? Because some people can be very bad losers.
Exactly. That's the point. I mean, I remember the last time we came, we were talking about rising the suicide cases in the country, and this is one of the factors. Of course, when you stake your whole money, when it gets to a point where we give you your school fees and say go and pay your school fees, and the next thing you walk into a bet shop and then and spend all the money and
hoping to get $1 million.
Hoping to get $1 million. You understand? At the end of the day, nothing comes out. You feel depressed. That's where depression sets in. You begin to think of all other illegal means of getting back that your school fees, and that's what leads to sometimes robbery. That's what leads to sometimes scamming and all sorts of. So the side effect of sports betting or gambling, as the case may be, it does not it's not limited to a particular issue alone. Sometimes it snowballs into some other critical issues that we feel should not be encouraged.
When it comes to the betting companies and betting outfits and all of that, although you said there is the lottery board that supervises all of this, but when it comes to the issue of setting up, what criteria does it take for anybody to set up a betting company? Can anybody just wake up and go into it, or there are certain criteria?
Okay, yes, there are certain criteria. Of course, I remember that there was a particular company that first set up here in Nigeria, and then others begin to follow. I think they get a franchise from most times from not from Nigeria here, from
outside
UK, outside the country. I think some other countries too now, we have some brands there that are involved in this. So you get a franchise there, you bring it down here, you get a website, and your website must be mobile friendly as well, because most people now play via their phone and all that. So those are the necessary things that you need to put in place. Then, of course, get outlets everywhere in the country where people can easily have access to and begin to play.
All right. It's really, but it's a huge industry.
Yeah.
I'm afraid we don't have all the time to talk about that right now, but we thank you for coming
Thank you
on
so much for
the program. Abayomi Oke Asiwaju, founder of Skata. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Right.
A recent report has said that Nigeria has, is the leading African country that is into sport betting. What do you think is the major drive for this, craze to go ahead and bet in sports?
All right, I think unemployment one, because most of Nigerian youths now find solace in sports betting, owing to the fact that the jobs are not readily available for them, no white-collar jobs and the likes, and they just feel that, okay, if I could do this for a while and I'm making, stipends from it, I can probably stick to it. Also, I think in 2017, the Lagos State government said they made an increase of from 30 to 40% increase revenue from sport betting companies.
Wow.
So when government is making a huge amount of revenue from such industry, why not? They will want to encourage it, and so a lot of people will be encouraged to go into this.
So where does passion come to play? Because you see a lot of persons, it's because of their passion for the club, for the sport, that they go ahead and get
Yes,
into this game?
before betting is involved, at least people have passion. Now that they're now converting their passion into money-making venture now. That's exactly what we are saying. So some people go into betting not just because they have passion for football, but the fact that the end, they're looking at, oh, I'm going to make money from this. So even people with least experience in football or any other sport are beginning to get interested in sport betting these days.
Now let's look at one growing concern is underage betting. You see a lot of persons, whether they are doing it for their elder ones or they're doing it for themselves, you see them at the sport betting centers, taking odds, trying to see how they can, of course, get easy cash. But how do you see this trend growing up? How do you think the government can actually come in to actually reduce the trend?
Yeah, these are some of the dangers of sport betting, gambling, as the case may be. Now, it encourages young people to now see those who are playing it as a role model that they should model their lives after. And of course, when we begin to see people under age 18, in fact, secondary school kids with tickets of some of the sport, it becomes worrisome, and I think it should be discouraged. Yes, of course, if you go to any sports betting shop, you will see not allowed for people under 18, but is there any person who is into business that will see money and say, no, hold on, I don't want this money? You understand? So probably if government can be very serious about it, law enforcement agencies, neighborhood, police or security agencies could, deter some of these young people from engaging in it, because it's not good for them. If they get addicted to it, to bring them out may be very difficult.
Thank you so much. There's a social entrepreneur and founder of Scatter, Abayomi Oke Asiwaju. Thank you for your thoughts.
Thank you for your time.